Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to a channel update video. Yes, one of the first channel update video where I am standing, because I have a standing desk, so I was like, you know what, let's stand for this one. And I think I changed the camera angle if memory serves. I think I had it over there before, now I've got it over here. Anyway, it's been about 7 months since my last update, so sorry that it took so long. Basically, God of War Ragnarok was the main game that I was doing, and I think I finished off Neo 2, and then I took like a 9-week break, and then I came back, and that I pretty much went straight through, and now it's been a couple of days after that. I'm recording this on the 30th of December, and I'll probably end up posting it tomorrow. I was thinking about posting it today, but I think I'll post it tomorrow. So yeah, right at the very end of the year. Anyway, the reason, to be honest, that I didn't really have an episode ready or an update video ready is a little bit of lack of motivation, and just lack of time is also a big issue. It's not so much time is important, but it's also like the energy levels. Just if they're fluctuating, or if I have other things to do, then it gets tricky. And like I said, the motivation has gone down a little bit because according to my last update, I was about to hit 7,300 subscribers, and I think the one before that I was about to hit 7,000, or I had just hit 7,000. So I basically made 300 from one point to the next, and then since then I've only made about 150 or so. So the channel growth has just gone so low, and it's just really demotivating. I know it's not really a thing that I should use too much for my motivation, especially because my channel's never going to be a huge channel, and I don't even necessarily want it to be. It's just that, I don't know, there's something about seeing the number go up, and or having, thinking back to a point in the past where there were a lot more comments or a lot more views on each of the episodes. And yeah, it just gets a little bit demotivating, but it is what it is. And I still have, I'm still grateful for all the views that I do get. So yeah, that's a good thing as well. So I try and keep that in my mind. Anyway, I was feeling a little low for the past couple of days, but I'm sort of feeling okay now, and that's good. So I thought, you know what, time to make the video. I know I still haven't got anything on the walls behind me. That's probably never going to happen. I'm just not a big decorator. It's just all time. I'd much rather spend the time just playing games. So I know it's pretty bland, but I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do something when I have time, but I doubt it. Anyway, so when I made the last update, I was talking about a few different games that I wanted to do. I was also talking about how playing God of War Ragnarok was going to be a lot easier than... hopefully that's not shaking the table too much. I've got to be careful about that. Playing God of War Ragnarok was going to make it a lot easier to make more content, because it wasn't anywhere near as difficult as Neo 2, for example, which was the game I was doing before that. And that didn't really end up happening. It just ended up my time just got used, and my energy just got used into that. So I couldn't really do much about that, which is unfortunate, but it's the way it goes, you know. Just having a look at my notes here to focus on what I want to talk about. Anyway, so I guess we'll go on to the next thing, and that what game am I going to do next, because I know a lot of people are wondering. Now, throughout a little towards the end of God of War Ragnarok, I did get a few comments asking me which game I was going to do, and the game I was planning on doing was Lies of P, which is the that Soulsborne kind of game that was released by that Korean studio called Round 8 Studio. Now, the first thing I want to say is I have actually been playing it, and I finished it about a week ago, maybe close to 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I have to say, as just a quickie review, it's amazing. It's really, 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 really good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I mean, when they showed the trailer, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Pinocchio, Dark Souls, that kind of makes sense. I love this gothic kind of atmosphere, and what sort of similar to what Bloodborne had, but now we've got a new protagonist and all this kind of stuff. But I enjoyed it way, way, way more than I thought. It is, I think, to an extent, especially early on, and even throughout the majority of the game, it is quite simplistic, but I love the simplicity of it, and I love the combat system and how it works. So I was super impressed by what they've managed to do. They deserve a massive round of applause for being able to pull it off, because it was such a fun game. And not exceedingly long as well. Not exceedingly long. I think it takes at least 2 playthroughs from memory. Yeah, I think it's 2 playthroughs to get the platinum. I didn't get the platinum, but I did finish the game, and I was really happy with it. There was some awesome fights. Like, I actually came up with some awesome like weapon combinations, and well, actually not so much the weapon combinations, but I think I understood how Soulsborne games work so much more than I used to, that it was very easy to get into this game and go, okay, this is what I need to focus on, this is what I need to focus on, do this, do that, and it just worked brilliantly. I don't know how many deaths I had at the end, but I'm telling you, I probably had like less than 50 throughout the whole game, and that is taking into account the fact that I think there were 2 bosses that I died like 15 times to, but everyone else I managed to get through pretty swimmingly. So I was very happy with that. Fantastic game. So like I said, it is a game that I will do on the channel at some point, but it is not the next game that I'm going to do. The next game that I'm going to do is actually something that has been in the works for a very, very, very long time, and then maybe some people are watching this right now going, oh, could it be? Could it be? Yes, I am going to do Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World finally. So this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit in the previous update video, that I wanted to do something where I could do a main game and then I could have that going as my long form series. However, because of the way that the time has been going and just everything's going faster and faster, and I just have not had enough time and energy to kind of get it done, there's just no way that I'm going to be able to post like a main game and then a side game at the same time, especially one as big and complicated as Dawn of the New World. So I'm changing my tactic, and I'm just saying, you know what, the channel's not doing like fantastic at the moment. It's done much better in the past. Let's just try changing things up, especially because like one of the other things that I know is like playing the AAA games. I do enjoy them, and like, don't get me wrong, I love God of War, I love whatever else I've played, like all these main game. I can't even think of another game, but I love all these AAA games. I really, really do. But I am not popular enough for more people to watch me play something that they've probably already watched someone else play. So maybe playing something like Dawn of the New World, which is a sort of much more niche game. I wouldn't even say it's like quite niche, but it's definitely way more niche than these main games that come out. I think perhaps I can get some viewership from that. So that would be nice. I also really like, there's a lot of like hate towards this game. Well, maybe not hate, but like severe dislike for this game. I think like the more I play this game, the more I like it. The more I can see what they were trying to do, and I think they genuinely achieved it. I don't want to give anything away about the story, but like I genuinely think that if you have absolutely no idea what the game is about, it's a worthwhile watch. There's like a lot of really important like themes and really relatable themes, especially to the world that we live in today. And I think it's like a very worthwhile watch. So if you want something to watch, stay tuned, because I will be, doing this game very soon. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. In fact, just to let you know, today has been like one of the best days. I've been pretty much, I'm going to be by myself the whole day. And I woke up pretty early and I started putting things together, and I've actually already recorded 2.5 episodes of the series. So, and I'm hoping to do more right after I finish doing this update video. But I've been thoroughly enjoying it. The first 2.5 episodes went swimmingly. They went really, really well. And I'm looking forward to continuing that and getting through the game perhaps quicker than I expected to get through it. Who knows? I've got tomorrow and the next day off as well from work, and then I go back on Thursday and then Friday, and then I have Saturday and Sunday again to pump more time into it, and then it's basically back to business as usual. We have some time off, but not very much. So, but it's better than none at all. Trust me, it's better than none at all. So I'm happy that we got what we got. Anyway, so it's going to be that the reason I wanted to do this is because I did the original Tales of Symphonia. You don't necessarily need to play the original Tales of Symphonia to enjoy what they've done here, but it does help. And it also makes the very beginning of the game like a lot more like, like, this is weird, what's going on? So I thoroughly like it. And you know what? One other thing to mention, I'm going to upload this on the 31st, but I looked at the final episode when I uploaded the final episode of Tales of Symphonia. It was April 30th, 2017. 7 years and 7 years and 8 months to the day of when I'm recording this, which is crazy. It's exactly the same day. So that's pretty cool. Like, it was the 30th and I recorded the first episode on the 30th. So to all the people who have been watching me up to this point from all the way back then, or to anyone who sort of jumped in, watched Tales of Symphonia, because I know it's actually still quite a popular Let's Platinum on my channel. Like, it's one of the highest videos. Like, episode 1 gets quite a few views. So to all those people who watched the whole thing, got the platinum, maybe they heard me say, I promise I'll do it, but it was going to take a while. Thanks for waiting. My promise is going to come true, and I'm going to deliver on it. So yeah, if you've never seen it before, I think it's a really worthwhile watch. And if you have seen it before, unless you've seen someone play it like I'm going to play it, it hopefully will be really fun and really interesting. So it's cool. I'm actually like genuinely stoked to do this game. I remember when I did the original Symphonia, I got a comment that was like, the enthusiasm that you have for this game is really coming across. And even though maybe my voice, like just trying to remember like what I recorded earlier, my voice wasn't as enthusiastic as it could have been, inside I was like, yeah, I'm digging this. It's really, sorry, I'm digging this. It's really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's awesome. Since last time the Game Awards happened and Astrobot won, so I'm not going to talk too much about that because there's a lot of controversy. I was even doubting, or even sort of like thinking, should I even mention it at all? But I'll just say Astrobot won. I'm very happy for them. I think I didn't play the game, but I think they deserve. I think it was a deserving win. There was a lot of like hype around this game. It's more of a, like, I'd say like a child focused game or like a younger person's focused game, but you know, it's good. And I think what the guy said was really true as well. Like, Mario is like one of the founding mainstays of gaming culture. So for him to take like the concept of Mario and the concept of a platformer and to bring it into the modern age, that's cool. I'm a little bit sad that Rebirth didn't win. Rebirth is one of those games where, like, now with a lot of hindsight, or not so much hindsight, but just like time passing, it happens with everything, like the pomp and just this like the spectacle of the game. The spectacle of the game becomes diminished because of like watching it back and seeing it happen again and again. But I think they still did a fantastic job. The combat system was vastly improved from what Remake delivered. I still really liked what Remake had, but it was much better with Rebirth, and I can't wait to see what they do with the third game. We're gonna potentially get it in 2027, which you think is like a far away. We're just about to hit 2025. It's only 2 years away, and it's gonna come and go like very fast. The other one that was up there that I was like, oh, maybe they'll win is Wukong. I didn't get a chance to play it, so I can't speak on it. Although I did see, like, I'd have to, I hate even bringing this up because like I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I did read like a comment. Apparently the game doesn't have any hit stun. Like, what? Like, I know it's the Chinese company's, what is it, Game Science? I know it's Game Science's first foray into making what is probably like quite a complicated game, but there's no hit stun? I don't know. I'd have to play it myself to find out, but that was strange. And anyway, like, it's not like Game Science can't do a fantastic game as one of their first games. Like, Round 8 Studio did Lies of P, and it's incredible. So yeah, it's awesome. At the moment, apart from Dawn of the New World and Lies of P, I don't have anything else planned. People have suggested the Elden Ring DLC, which unfortunately doesn't have trophies. Wukong has also been suggested, and there's still a few games that I mentioned last time, like DMC and the Resident Evil 4, potentially Resident Evil 5 and 6, which I don't know, maybe one day. It's hard to say. What else? There's so many games still to do. I'm also thinking, like, I would really love to see Dawn of the New World do well, but I'm also thinking of finally trying to play another indie game, because like Salt and Sanctuary, for example, did a lot better than I expected when I uploaded that. Like, as the years went by, I think the first episode had like, it's probably got more, but it had like 24,000 views or something. I was like, that's a lot of views for that game. Whereas if you compare it to like episode 1 of the original God of War, or the 2018 God of War, it only has like 2,000 views. So I was like, that's a big difference. So maybe doing something like Salt and Sacrifice, or even Blasphemous 2 already exists. So something like that I should do. Speaking of indie games, last time I mentioned that I was playing Slay the Spire and I was absolutely loving it. I actually managed to get the platinum. I got it on my side profile, but I finished it. I was really, really happy. I just like one night after work, I came home and I was like, you know what? I just want to play a little bit of Slay the Spire. And I was like looking at the remaining trophies. I was like, let me try this one again. Just who knows? Maybe it'll work. And I tried it and I got it first go and I could not believe it. I think it was first go. It might have been second go, but I think it was first go. I could not believe it. I even went to work the next day and I told my friend, I said, I got this bloody trophy out of the way. Like I don't even know, like I just played and everything was getting pieced together. And I think if memory serves, like the very last node actually, like one of the nodes towards the end screwed me. And then the next node, I managed to fix that. And then I was like, oh my God, I did it. Because I think it was the one where you have to beat the game with only 5 cards in your deck. So you need to create like, not necessarily an infinite loop, but you have to create like a certain pattern of cards that you want to use so that you can keep scaling throughout the game and defeat the bosses. So I was really happy to get that. And then the other trophies I got probably like over the next 2 weeks or something. So I got the platinum. Yes, that one was really hard, really, really hard. And I think I played it for, I've got it there, but it's like 300 hours or something like that. Maybe not that quite so much. It was like, no, 190. I think it was 190-ish. So I was pretty happy to be able to get the platinum in that time, considering that I'd never played the game before. So yes, excellent. Overall, I'm still in a pretty good place. The job that I have, I enjoy. Things are going actually like relatively well at work. We've had a few problems towards the end of the year. We had a lot of absenteeism last year, towards the very end, where like we just did not have weeks. Like we went for probably 3 or 4 months where almost every day someone was away for one reason or another, and it really put us behind. But I had to go to work recently to do some stock take, and we managed to clean things up a bit. And if I've never mentioned it before, I work in like warehousing. I'm like the warehouse receiver, and I kind of like receive all the product in, and I try and keep the warehouse clean and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there was like a lot to do, and we went to do stock take, and then there was a bit of downtime, so all of us got together and we were like, okay, let's start like cleaning this place, getting it fixed up, because there was a lot of work left over from last year that I'm going to have to do when I get in. So we got a lot of that prepared, so it was good. The team is pulling together well, so hopefully things continue to go well next year. I can only assume it's going to be even crazier than this year was, so we'll see. But yeah, it's everything like financially speaking and sort of like health-wise, I'm good. It's just sometimes the mental gets to me, but I'm a lot better than I was like say 7 years ago, which is when I went through a pretty bad depression. I won't talk about it too much, but yeah, I went through a pretty bad depression, and it wasn't like how do I explain? It was my fault. It was my fault for just not being responsible enough for doing what I was supposed to be doing, and just playing around too much. But hey, better to do it then than now. So yeah. Okay. Oh yes. Last time I also mentioned I wanted to make a montage video for you guys to commemorate like 10 years of doing YouTube. I received quite a few clips. A lot of them were from Elden Ring, not too many from other games, but I did receive a lot of clips from people. So thank you very much for that. If you want to contribute to that, you can still do it. If you're watching anything at the moment, just leave a comment saying like montage moment or montage material with the time code so I can look for it. And then that way I can like get that and put it into the thing. And let me tell you, putting it together was so frustrating, way more frustrating than it should have been. I'll just explain. Basically, every single video that I've ever done on YouTube, I have a copy of. I basically saved everything and I put it onto an external hard drive. I don't have like the raw file, but I have the output for what went up on YouTube. So I have all that in an external hard drive. And the way I was going to do this was basically people were going to give me suggestions. Every so often when I got a suggestion, I would go to the external hard drive, pull that file off, put it onto the computer, and then use that to like place it into the timeline and edit the footage together and everything like that. So what I didn't realize, and I'm still not 100% sure why this happened, it may be because I actually have 2 external hard drives. and I had a bunch of the YouTube videos on one of them, and then eventually I moved them over to the other one. And I think what ends up happening, and then obviously I copied those back onto the computer at some point. I think when you move files from one hard drive to another, and then obviously to another hard drive, I think they degrade in quality, like they lose. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's like the file breaks up. It's almost like the teleportation meme, right? You have to like destroy the object and then put the object back in another place. So it was something like that. And I think that's what happened, because when I tried to put the files into the editing software, what it does is it generates what's known as a peak file, which is a file that essentially allows you to see the timeline and see like where the sound and the audio was. And some of the peak files, it just either couldn't generate or it would take ages to generate. And I had like maybe 40 different episodes that I had to put there. And so some of them were working fine and others were just not working at all. It took me like hours to do what it should have taken me like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to do. So it was really frustrating. But I'm going to ask for more clips, because just on the off chance that you guys have clips from other games, just anything you want, but just like literally from the lesser known games would be excellent if you guys have it. I don't even think I have anything from like Resident Evil, which is kind of funny. Oh no, actually there are two from two different Resident Evil games. But yeah, if you have some suggestions, let me know. Thank you to I forgot his name, but it was like SpongeBob something. I didn't know that this person probably doesn't even watch the channel anymore, but I got very lucky. I did not know that viewers can clip your content and then it appears in your channel. So if I go to my channel and I click on clips, I can't do it through the YouTube Creator Studio, but if I just go to my channel, I can click on your clips and then it has clips that I have made of other people, and then it goes clips that your viewers made of you. And this guy, he clipped I think 2 or 3 moments, I think 3 moments from Batman like 9 years ago, and I just so happened to find them because Chris, my good friend Chris, also clipped some stuff from Super Time Force Ultra for me, and I found them and I was like, oh my goodness. And one of them is so good. One of them it's a very short clip, but I was like, this is so good. So I was really happy to see that. So thank you to that SpongeBob guy. I'll probably put your name on there we go. Put your name on the screen so that you get the credit for it. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically, so let me know. I've still got like 5 months before I post it. I didn't do too much work with it. I just basically put them all together, and then as the months go by, hopefully I'll just find like some extra time to, or I'll just have to basically commit time to going, all right, let me just fix all this up and edit it in a way that makes it funny, and like maybe throw in a couple of comments or something like that. So yeah, I'll work it out. Let me know, and I'll do that before it'll be posted, probably on May 24th, 2025, which is only 5 months away. It's insane. Anyway, all right, one thing, we're almost done here, but I thought I'd mention this because I've been meaning to mention this for a while, and maybe I mentioned like it in a very small way, but is my, well, I wouldn't say new love, but it's like my new addiction to crosswords. And not just like, not any crossword, but specifically the New York Times crossword. So if you guys have never done crosswords, they're amazing. Like, they're so fun. But the New York Times ones are really, really great because they're done by these professionals. They have so many of the letters crossing with the other letters. And it just makes for a really good crossword because the clues are really good, like are usually really good. You don't have to know like absolutely everything. That's another crazy thing. You can, as long as you know a decent amount, you can get enough clues to help you work out what you don't know. Yes, there's some trivia stuff in there that you just won't know, from some random thing from the 1950s or something like that, some piece of trivia that you most likely won't know. But for me, I'm pretty decent at them. Like I can at least do, they get progressively harder as the week goes on. So Monday and Tuesday are the easiest. Wednesday gets a little bit more difficult. Thursday's a bit tough. Friday's quite tricky. Saturday is just the worst. Saturday, they always throw some crazy combination of words in there that just suck. It's so awful. And then Sunday, the way Sunday works is it's like, it's a bit easier than I'd say it's sort of between a Thursday and a Friday, maybe a Friday and a Saturday difficulty, but it's about 2 times as big. So it's just this really large Sunday crossword, and it's like every single day. It's crazy. Now you can buy a subscription to the New York Times on the same place where you do, like, you know, connections and all that kind of stuff. You can buy, or the mini crossword is for free. I think New York Times owns Wordle now as well. You can buy a subscription for a year, or there's a website called the Seattle Times, and they allow you to do the crosswords for free. They only last, each crossword only lasts a week because it gets replaced by the crossword that comes after it. And the other thing you have to know is that the crosswords that appear there are delayed by 5 weeks. So for example, today is Monday, the 30th of December. It would be the crossword for it would be like the 27th of November. Is that right? Let me actually check that. It's probably the crossword from the 25th of November. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it's probably the crossword from the 25th of November. So, and I did that just before I started recording this video. So, yeah, I love them. Once you do them enough, you kind of get used to what the clues, like how the clues work, because it took so long for me to actually get used to it. But they're really good. They've got this very interesting mix of clues, and that's how they put it together. I can't believe it works as well as it does. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. That's something that I've been trying to do. It is one of the things that actually takes up a lot of my time. But that's the other thing, when I was sort of referring before back to time versus energy. The crossword, even though it's like active and my brain is working to figure out what the clues are, it's very low energy. It's like I read the clue and I go, okay, maybe it's this, and then I move on. Whereas like when you're playing a game, like you got like flashing lights generally, or you got like a bright color scheme or a dark color scheme, doesn't really matter. Bright color scheme, you're like, oh gosh, it's garish. It's like very strong on and yeah, like affecting on the eyes. Or you got like a dark theme game and you're kind of like squinting and turning your head to try and, like, no matter what you do, you're kind of like actively using your faculties to kind of process the information before you. But with a crossword, it's just like, it's just a small screen and you're doing what you're doing. So it's relaxing. It's a relaxing thing. We all have things that we like, and if we can balance those things out across the day, then it makes sense. You know, you're not going to be playing a video game. Well, I was going to say, you're not going to be playing a video game while you're eating lunch. Some people do. I don't. I like watch YouTube videos or something like that, or watch a movie. But yeah, I thought I'd mention that. Okay, so I'm pretty much done now. Not as long as my usual videos. It still went longer than I expected. So I'm going to still be taking a very small break again from after you see this video. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I'm going to do that so I can get a nice backlog of videos going for Dawn of the New World, so I can start posting that as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully things go well. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I will definitely come back. So just keep an eye on the channel. Maybe click the bell so that you can be notified when I actually put the first episode out. And yeah, like I said, things are going well. I'm going to finish this video. I'll either edit it or straight away, or I'll go back into Tails. I'll figure it out, and then I'll spend the rest of the day and the next 2 days trying to do as much as I possibly can before I have to go back to work. So yeah, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Crazy Kwanzaa, Diwali I think is also in there. Don't know all of them. Is there one that's like EID, or is that a little bit later in the year? That's like more of a well, not later in the year, but like a little bit later from now. So it's like a March or April thing. I'm pretty sure Eid is something. I forget which one. Anyway, and a Happy New Year to everyone as well. 2025, we're moving into scary times. The world's on fire. How about yours? It's the way I like it, and I never get bored. Oh my gosh, rest in peace, Steve something, I can't remember his name, but the guy who fronted Smash Mouth. Also, apparently Jimmy Carter died. Rest in peace. The dude made it to 100. He was he's probably going to be the only president that's going to make it to 100. That's insane. Congratulations to Jimmy Carter. And rest in peace as well. I don't know why. See, this is how my brain works. It just tangents into random things. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ultima456. You're the Ultimates. And I'll see you next time.